Hey gang, I got an offer for you today from LinkedIn. As business-to-business marketers, your needs are unique. B2B buying cycles are long and your customers face incredibly complex decisions. Isn't it time you had a marketing platform built specifically for you? LinkedIn ads empower marketers with solutions for you and your customers. LinkedIn ads allow you to build the right relationships, drive results, and reach your customers in a respectful environment. On LinkedIn, you have direct access to build relationships with decision makers. Of the 875 million users on the network, 180 million are senior level executives. 10 million are C-level executives. You will also be able to drive results with targeting and measuring with their tools built specifically for B2B. And best of all, they work. Audiences exposed to brand messages on LinkedIn are 6 times more likely to convert. LinkedIn ads also rank number 1 for security, community, and ad experience as part of the Business Insider's Digital Trust Study. Make B2B marketing everything it can be and get a $100 credit. It's a $100 credit on your next campaign. Go to linkedin.com/MPN to claim your credit. It's linkedin.com/MPN. Terms and conditions apply. Entrepreneurs Enigma is a podcast for the ups and downs of entrepreneurship. So the wins and the fails that we all face being entrepreneurs, how we learn from adversity. Every week I talk to a different entrepreneur with a story to tell. I'm Seth Goldstein. Come with me on the journey. This is Entrepreneurs Enigma. Let's get started. Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of the Entrepreneurs Enigma podcast. I'm, as always, your host, Seth Goldstein. I don't even know I said my last name there, but we're going to go with it. You know who I am. But I am honored to have Aaron Podolny. Did I say it right or did I screw it up?
You nailed it.
I nailed it, yes! It's phonetics, I should be able to get it. Of Scribe. He is an entrepreneur out in San Francisco, so like the heart of the entrepreneur startup ecosystem out there. I met his co-founder via LinkedIn, and she was like, talk to Aaron. And I was like, sure, I'll get on your podcast. Absolutely. And then we had it scheduled because I'm in the Philadelphia area and he's in the San Francisco area. And those stupid time zones, I had him scheduled for 10 o'clock my time. And it was like, it would have been 7 o'clock a.m. his time. He was willing to do it, but I'm like, I'm not going to do that to you, poor guy. I will schedule it for 1. So it's a little bit better timing for him. So anyhow, Aaron, welcome, buddy.
So happy to be here. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. So you went to Yale, you got out, and then you immediately started founding stuff, it seems like. And then you had a brief foray at Google, which is kind of fitting for being on the West Coast. It's one of those companies like that I feel like a lot of founders and startup people have at least dipped their toes into Google because it's such a big company. But so how did you find your way into the entrepreneur life?
Yeah. So I've been writing code since I guess it's 12 years old.
Wow.
And I guess like very quickly like wanted to create software that other people might use.
Do with it. Yeah.
That's right. Like some people would say I'm self-taught. I'm really internet taught as an engineer. No one does this totally by themselves. Yeah. I mean, basically started writing software. I had like a shareware company run out of my bedroom. I remember my parents being surprised when a check from some random university like arrived at the door to,
oh, that's awesome. Not an acceptance letter, a check.
Right. Which is, I mean, I guess it's good if like universities are giving you money rather than the other way around. But that, I guess, was sort of like how I got the entrepreneurial bug. I guess there was like a hiatus because I went to college with time to do something serious. So I studied psychology. I don't know why I moved away from computers, but then worked in consulting for a little bit. That was like a, real job. As
you have to do everyone has to do something. Work for the man for a little bit.
That's right. Just to understand how things work. And then had, an idea, I guess I was 2 to 3 years into that, to start this e-commerce company focused on gift giving.
Oh, wow.
I was on the East Coast at that point in New York. I ended up joining up with a friend of mine. We built this app to basically surface inventory of local like boutiques. So you could
Oh,
search
wow.
all the great stuff in Williamsburg, which
Cool.
was fun. If you ever wanted to see 100 overpriced candles in one place, we had the app for you.
The overpriced
Um,
candle app. Love it. Yeah.
and then eventually joined up with another group of friends building what became Onwards. And this was a customer service
Yeah.
SaaS platform. So this was my first experience with B2B.
Yeah. And you
And
were acquired. You were
that's right.
acquired by Google. That's
That's
something. That's a nice little check mark right there. Like,
Yeah. I mean, it did feel like, okay, this is something. And it was really cool actually as an engineer to spend some time at Google. It is
yeah.
very much like the engineers tech company. Like I was exposed to like much better code than I had ever seen before
Yeah.
and some just like really incredible just really incredible folks who had been there since almost the beginning.
We're going to take a quick break, hear from our sponsors, and get right back to the show.
Hey there, it's Jason with the Marketing Podcast Network. Real quick, I want to make sure you know that the world's leading B2B Marketing Expo is returning to the Los Angeles Convention Center on March 21st and 22nd. It's high time we got back together to learn, see the latest technologies and solutions, and network, right? Join thousands of marketing professionals just like you to learn from over 250 industry expert speakers, educational masterclasses, and over 300 exhibitors. And this year, your ticket also gets you into the Sales Innovation Expo and the Marketing and Advertising Expo. So it's like 3 conferences in one. It's March 21st and 22nd at the Los Angeles Convention Center. Go to b2bmarketingexpo.us to register. That's b2bmarketingexpo.us. The Marketing Podcast Network is a proud partner of the B2B Marketing Expo for 2023. We'll see you in LA.
Yeah. How did you find yourself in the Scribe? Because it looks like you only did a year, according to LinkedIn, you only did like about a year and a half at Google. For most
That's
founders,
right.
that's short for most like acquired founders. They usually stick around. What made you jump and
Yeah.
go and get the itch again?
Yeah. I mean, I got the itch actually relatively quickly. I mean, for all the wonderful, I guess, like learning that I felt like was possible at Google, like I missed the, I guess, like the really raw nature of
Mm-hmm.
building something yourself. Um, and ultimately, I was like, okay, I know I'm going to go back out at some point and start another company. And then I
Yeah.
got introduced to my now co-founder, Jennifer Smith. We were introduced by an investor we both know. And I was like, this person is really incredible.
Aw. Yeah.
And like I also, my prior companies, I've always been working with other engineers. And I kind of knew for the next one, it was really important to have like a strong, like business focused
Mm-hmm.
co-founder, someone who
Can do
was like
everything else.
thinking,
Yeah.
I guess that's right. Yeah. And she's very much the type, she went to HBS. She was at McKinsey for a while. She worked
Wow.
at Greylock. So, I mean, she has a pedigree, but also like you just meet her and you're like immediately like, this is a person who is going to do incredible things.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to wait and try to find someone else like her. Like as soon as I met her, I was like, okay, like we got to do this and we got to do it now.
And it
And
clicked.
so
Yeah.
that's right. And so I left Google after a little over a year.
Wow. So what is Scribe? It's a good name.
Yeah, it was a bit of an SEO battle at the beginning, but we're
Yeah.
now, you can now just
be a little
Google
bit, yeah.
Scribe and you will find us. So Scribe is think of it as a screen recorder that outputs a step-by-step guide, complete
Ooh.
with written instructions, cropped screenshots. If you've ever created one of these things by hand,
Oh,
like
God, it's
maybe you wanted to
torture.
show it.
Yeah.
Yes, super painful. And so Scribe does it for you. So you turn on the recorder, you jump into whatever, tool you want to show someone how to use, you do the process,
Oh my God, I
boom, you
need
get the
this.
guide.
Yeah. Oh, I need this. This is awesome. I have to do how-tos for people on web design stuff. How to not to screw up your website. Here's what you need to touch. Here's what you don't need to touch. Scribe's the way to do it. That's awesome.
Absolutely. Yes. Please try it out.
Try it out. Absolutely. We'll do it. So being an entrepreneur for a while, what has been the best thing about being an entrepreneur? Because you've done both. What's the best thing?
Yeah. I think the best thing is the feeling of being in control of your own destiny. Some days there's existential dread. So it's not
Oh, there
all
always is. Yeah,
rainbows.
absolutely. Yeah.
um,
Rainbows
but
and
I think just,
butterflies. Yeah.
like in some ways it's like every mistake you make, clearly your responsibility, but also every good thing that you make happen,
Yeah.
like that's also yours. I just think that feeling of like radical ownership is
Mhm.
a hell of a drug.
The endorphins are immense with startup founding and having it be all on you and then succeeding at something. Even when something kind of fails, it's never really a failure. It's sort of like oh, that's kind of sucks. But how can we fix
Yes.
that? Oh, duh. We should have done it this way. That kind of thing. So then on the flip side, what's the worst thing about being a entrepreneur?
Yeah, I do feel like it's the flip side of that coin.
Yeah.
Just that feeling of, oh, I know I could have done that better and, it
Mhm.
didn't work out. Also, oftentimes, I mean, it's great to learn from your mistakes. I feel like as a founder, you have the feeling of making the same mistake repeatedly. And you're like,
Oh, it's
how
the
do I keep
worst.
doing this? But it's
And
like really hard. Like,
eventually you scribe it and you don't do it again.
that's right. That's right. You can go back and you can consult the correct way.
Yeah.
Um, but I think like just to give a concrete example, I feel like there's the sort of folk wisdom is talk to your users, talk to your customers.
Yeah.
But it's so easy to get heads down building something.
Mhm.
You have an idea, maybe it's part of the product, maybe it's a new marketing campaign, whatever. You just go and you're like
Tunnel
doing it.
vision. Yeah.
Exactly. You get that tunnel vision and then you come out the other side and it turns out, that's like not really what people needed.
Oh, no,
Um,
that's the worst, yeah. It was fun while it
yeah,
lasted. Yeah, that kind of thing, yeah.
that's right. And I mean, I think again, this is a good thing though about being an entrepreneur is that like you can actually get a lot wrong, but as long as you get like one or two things very right,
Yeah,
it's fine. Um,
yeah. You have to fail fast. You have to realize when you fail or failing to fail fast, not fail slowly. Like, realize it, adjust it, and then reverse it kind of thing. So what is the most important thing to carry with you all the time?
I'm initially like thinking like you got to have your keys, wallet, and phone. So
Yeah,
that was
those are musts, absolutely.
hopefully this doesn't sound like too pretentious, but
Yeah, go
I
for it.
do think a lot about this concept of a durable source of inspiration.
Mm,
I think particularly if you're working in a creative field, and I actually think like all entrepreneurs are, like
yeah.
what we're doing when we're building companies and businesses, it's like a cultural product. I think we have a lot in common with authors and
Yeah,
artists.
absolutely, yeah.
Um, and so you need places outside of yourself to go back to find just like
Mhm.
a source of creativity. And for me, it's definitely, I go to SF MoMA, our local modern art museum, quite a
Yeah,
bit and just, you know, love reading the stories of artists, like small groups of artists who were doing things that were like totally new, where at the
yeah.
time people were like, that is terrible. What are they doing? And just seeing those creative communities and what comes out of them, I think
Mm.
it's quite inspiring. So.
So where can people try out Scribe? 'Cause I'm intrigued. I'm very intrigued. I need this like right now. So
So you can Google Scribe. Our website is scribehow.com. That's scribe, HOW.com.
that's a great domain name. Describe how it works. I love it. It's clever. It's quirky, and you actually come up for Scribe in Google. It's very impressive. Bravo. That's a little voodoo.
One of the cool things about Scribe is, of course, a lot of business processes are specific to particular businesses, but a lot of Scribe users have actually created public Scribes for how to do things. Often they want to show off their skills or they just feel compelled to help people out, which is awesome. If you post a link to a Scribe on, say, a blog or Google will find it there, and that helps us, move up the rankings.
That's brilliant. I like that idea. That's
It's a
great.
virtuous cycle.
Virtuous cycle. And then if people want to connect with you online, where's your main hangout? Where's your main watering hole?
LinkedIn, just hit me up on LinkedIn. I wanted to become more of a Twitter user, but I just, I don't know
Now's
if I'm
not the
clever
time.
enough.
Yeah, and now's
Yes,
not
right.
the time.
Now's not the time.
Now's not the
Um,
time. Maybe Mastodon or something, but like Twitter, I think that bird's gonna fall off the branch eventually.
yeah, that ship is sinking.
Yeah, quite fast. We'll leave that one alone. But Aaron, thank you so much for being on the show. This has been so much fun. And we'll see everyone next week.
Thank you, Seth. Been great.
That was a great show. Hey, if you're enjoying Entrepreneurs Enigma, please give us a review on the podcast directory of your choice. We're on all of them. And these reviews really help others find the show. Also, if you're getting value from the show and want to buy me a coffee, go to the show notes and click on the link to help me stay awake while I bring you more great episodes to your ears. That's in the show notes, and I look forward to the next episode. Take care, guys. Goldstein Media hopes you have enjoyed this episode. This podcast is one of the many great shows on the MPN Marketing Podcast Network.
You may know you're listening to this show along the Marketing Podcast Network, but did you know there are other great shows on MPN to help your business? Mike Carlin hosts a great podcast called Uncorking a Story. Mike, tell us what these fine folks will get when they listen.
Uncorking a Story profiles successful writers and authors to uncover how their background and life experiences influence the stories they create. We learn what motivates them, their path to success, and what fuels them to keep creating. And it all starts by asking one simple question: where does your story begin?
Ooh, interesting. Where can people subscribe?
You can follow the show at uncorkingstory.com, at marketingpodcast.net, or by searching for Uncorking a Story wherever you get your podcasts.
You heard him. Go subscribe. This podcast is heard along the Marketing Podcast Network. For more great marketing podcasts, visit marketingpodcasts.net.